Wow. Thank you so much, Stephanie. You know, when we started thinking about this event, we've been planning this for well over a year. We were trying to figure out who to use as moderators. You know, it's such an important role and it really sets the stage. And we talked about maybe getting Charlie Rose to do double duty. We talked about some of the other friends of the foundation. But in the end, what we wanted to do most of all was to demonstrate to you the impact that the Tiger Woods Foundation is having today on kids really all around the country. So I think we made a good decision in bringing our scholars. They truly are our unexpected champions, and you'll be hearing from Daryl and you'll be hearing from Grace later tonight. So tonight is a celebration. When you think about it, 20 years. 20 years is an amazing amount of time, especially when you consider Tiger was a young pup of 20 when the foundation started, when he and Earl started it. So we're going to celebrate, plenty of time to celebrate, but we're also going to raise some money, and I want to thank a few people for making this evening so successful. First of all, Tiger, who is picking up the tab for the evening. So eat and drink. It's all on Tiger. And what that means is every dollar that's contributed either before or tonight goes directly to our program. So thank you, Tiger. As you can see, the room is full. It's a beautiful room, and it is full. That's thanks to the hard work of a lot of people, especially our event co-chairs, David Fontanilla, George Hubbard, Key Lee, Mary and John Orzag, and Mark Steinberg. And thanks to all of you, whether you bought a table or whatever you did before tonight came, you're doing great things for us and with us, and we certainly appreciate that. Anyone who won the silent auction, congratulations on that. And if you face the disappointment of not winning in the silent auction, there is hope. On your tables, you'll see cards. And if you're so moved, we would appreciate any donation you felt comfortable giving. So thank you to everyone. And given everything I just talked about, we expect tonight to make $1.5 million for our programs. So thank you all for that. And I do want to thank one other person. Phil Knight is here. Phil is a contributor tonight. You're going to see him up on stage. But Phil, more importantly, over 20 years, you and Nike have probably been our best partner, and we appreciate so much what you've done for us, what you've done for Tiger, and you made our foundation what it is today. So thank you so much for that. All right. You heard Tiger in that video talk about changing the world. He says things like that all the time. We're going to change the world. And it's interesting. It was when I first joined the foundation, it was different. And it's something I took a close look at. Can we really change the world? And where does that come from? And with Tiger, it really comes from two individuals. And it comes very much in the way he was brought up. You saw Earl in the video. Earl and Tiger started the foundation. But a major influence, too, is here with us tonight. I want to point out Tita Woods. Thank you for being here. Still a very important part of what we're doing. So let's take a look at that set of words, changing the world. And for a foundation like ours, is that really possible to truly change the world? Well, we looked at a lot of studies, and we looked at a number of things to really try and understand that a little better. Number one, when you take a look at all the literature, high-quality after-school education programs like we do at the TGR Learning Lab out in California and on the East Coast makes such a difference in the lives of underserved kids. And we work with kids at all different ages, but the literature tells you, and it's very true, higher standardized scores, higher grades, more self-confidence, and a higher propensity to go to college. And that's what we're trying to do. We're inspiring these kids in those early grades so that they'll learn, they'll get excited about STEM, and then they'll go off to college. Secondly, college. Kids who go to college and graduate, a few things we know about them. They're major contributors to their society. Number one, they vote more, they volunteer more, they participate in local activities, they make their communities better. And their children become college students too, which helps us break that intergenerational cycle of poverty. So inspire them, send them off to college. And then third, and we see this every day, and I'll tell you a story shortly about it, but so many of these underserved kids come back to their communities or communities similar to the ones that they grew up in, and they become role models. they work there professionally, but they become role models for youth. So you can begin to see that inspiring one kid, like we try to do, creates a path to changing a community and with it, a country. So I want to introduce you to a few of our unexpected champions, which I think give you a good example of the kind of work we're doing. I'm going to start with Edgar Perez. Edgar joined our TGR Learning Lab out in Anaheim as a 5th grade student. He was an all-star STEM guy. I mean, he loved all the STEM subjects. He became an Earlwood Scholar. He is now a senior at Reed College, majoring in physics. We love that, Mr. STEM. He works at the Reed Research Reactor as a senior nuclear reactor operator. He is sought out on campus for his expertise. He's applying as for graduate work right now in physics, and he's going to be a huge success. We're very proud of him. And then there's Sharon Dodd. Now, Sharon took a somewhat different approach. Sharon joined our learning lab in 7th grade. She was involved in so many of the programs, the STEM programs, but the one thing that she really took a liking to was video. And we have a video lab. And one year, Sharon created a 30-second commercial promoting the foundation. And we took that commercial, it was so good, and we put it on the air during our golf tournaments. So millions of people saw it. This was so inspiring to her. She ended up going to Cal State Fullerton, graduated in 3 years, and now she's fulfilling her dream as a business affairs coordinator at TBWA Media Arts out in California. And then there's Vina Vo. Vina is the daughter of Vietnamese immigrants. She was raised by her grandmother. Vina is an Earlwood Scholar as well. Vina went to USC. She graduated in 5 years. She had 2 degrees. She graduated with a BA in business and a master's in urban planning. She then took a job as a senior consultant at Ernst & Young, and she was doing great. She was going to be a superstar, but she decided that she had a passion for something else. Her passion was education. So what she did was she joined an educational nonprofit called Digital Promise in San Francisco. They're doing great things, joining communities around the country, sharing ideas. She gave back and she went back. So those are just some of our unexpected champions that come out of the TGR Learning Lab, as well as some of our scholars. I could tell you 100 more, but I know the waitstaff wouldn't like that because dinner is going to be coming out shortly. But I will tell you, what we know is it's time to dramatically improve our impact. Tiger talks about it quite a bit. When I started, he said, I want to reach millions of kids. So how are we going to do that? If you visit the TGR Learning Lab in Anaheim, or any of the 6 we have up and down the East Coast, the satellite locations, you'll see how we teach kids. It's very much of a project-based methodology that gets them excited, gets them into self-discovery, and they love learning STEM that way. And that's terrific. But what we've also learned is it also creates what's called a growth mindset. In other words, what we're doing is we're teaching kids to think. And that's critically important because that means that no matter what they do in the future, look, we'd love to see them go into STEM careers, but if they didn't, they've learned how to think. And that's the most important thing we can do. So what are we going to do with that? Well, in the next 5 years, we're going to dramatically increase our reach. We have a plan in place. I'm going to let Tiger tell you about it when he's up on stage, but it's very exciting. And when you think about it, if we reach these kids, millions of kids, you know, what can they do to impact not only themselves, their family, their neighborhood, and their community? Anyway, so we're excited, and evenings like this will really help us accomplish the plan. So I want to thank you all for being here. It's an exciting time here at the Tiger Woods Foundation, not only celebrating 20, but celebrating the next 20, 30, 40, 50. We're doing it because of all the help you're giving us. So thank you very much. We have a delicious dinner for you, and then afterwards we're going to continue the program. Thank you.